Welcome to Obsessed Garage. I'm Matt Moorman. Today's product focus is Milwaukee. I'm going to call these luxury tools, but these are their Stubby impacts. And the reason I'm calling them luxury is because you can accomplish most things that these can do with other tools, but these are very automotive specific, at least that's what I use them for. And they're called Stubbies because they're much smaller and much more compact than the compact torque or the mid torque. Of course, the high torque and the extended anvil versions get kind of bulky and heavy. These are M12 tools, so they're part of the 12-volt ecosystem, and they're compact and lightweight enough that you can hang it from your belt clip and really get some work done on the car. Now, they offer three different versions. They offer a 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. I was really torn on these, on which ones I would have in my cabinet. I decided that I wanted them all as again, a luxury purchase. I find that I use the 1/4 inch by far the least. The 1/4 inch has a different spec and different electric motor. This one will do 100 foot-pounds of what they call nut-busting torque. The confusing thing with all electric hand tools is they're always going to give you the spec that looks the best on paper. I'm more interested in what does it actually do in person. And you'll find that the 3/8 with what is rated as 250 nut-busting foot-pounds of torque, same spec on the 1/2 inch anvil, but these will do quite a bit more, breaking rusty nuts off and bolts, and you'll find them, although heavier, bulkier, I think you'll find them more useful. So if I were ranking these, I would probably buy 1/2 inch first, 3/8 second, and 1/4 inch third. And the main reason why I wanted all three was to complete the set. But you could realistically get away with the 1/2 inch tool and do everything you need to do. Just do an anvil reducer down to 3/8 if you needed to use some 3/8 stuff on it. So all of these come in two different variants. You can buy it in a tool only, which of course costs less. That's always denoted by 20 in the model number. So for instance, the 1/4 inch is 2552-20, and the 20 denotes that you're only getting the tool with no batteries, no charger, no additional things. So this is your very first tool. I wouldn't suggest that you buy a 20 tool because you're going to need a battery and a charger of some sort. And then you have the 2.2 tool, the 2.2 kits. They come with a bag, which I always punt in the trash, but they come with a bag. They come with a CP 2.0 battery and an XC 4.0 battery. So this is, me thinking Milwaukee is suggesting some of their tools are, and I think these might be one of them. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but some of their tools get a bit of a bump when you go to an XC, a larger battery or a high output battery. They do make an XC 4.0, so this is the second highest output version of a Milwaukee M12 battery, but you can see the capacity difference of the cells. I hope if I do this correctly, squeeze it correctly. But the capacity, you have more cells or more batteries inside of this versus their traditional. I believe there's 2 cells or 3 cells inside of a 2.0 or 3.0 version. So these come with, when you buy the kit, they come with one XC 4.0, one charger, one bag, and one CP 2.0 battery, and those, I find myself the balance of like the 1/2 inch tool with a 4.0. It stands up a little bit better as well if you're working with a tool cart, and I find myself using this version of the battery often. Notice we do stock these as well. Both of the Stubbies, they use the same boot, but this is a rubber boot that you can purchase, which helps with impact, helps with making sure you're not banging off a fender or something like that, causing problems. But I use these most often underneath a car, where I don't need a right angle tool. They do make a right angle version of these instead of, I would call this a straight tool, and I'm using them underneath car often on suspensions, things like that, things where I don't have higher torqued nuts and bolts where I can get, most of them off with a tool that does, 250 foot-pounds. Much quicker fastening and just easier to get to than some of the bigger, like the bigger high torque or mid torque stuff. These can technically break lugs. I don't ever use them for that. I'm using the mid torque or the extended anvil high torque. So I think you're asking a bit much from a 12 volt tool to do that, even though it's rated at 250 and most of your lugs are going to be torqued to 100 foot-pounds or less. You'll find that this is going to have a really hard time and really going to be banging against your lug nut heads in order to get off. So I wouldn't recommend these. Certainly not the 1/4 inch. But these are nice tools. I would probably, again, I would rank these in your purchases. I would probably want a high torque and a mid torque. I would want some other tools. Certainly want a hammer drill and want some ratcheting wrenches before I got these. But I know that most people that do have these, me included, when you do invest in an entire Milwaukee line of tools, this gets into the luxury category, but when you do have them, you will find that you will use them periodically, and they are something that's a nice thing to have, especially if you're doing automotive stuff and you're not using circular saws and some of the other things, or SDS drills and things like that you may be using around the house or around the shop. So these are available at obsessgarage.com. Check them out, and it always helps if you honor the source of the information. You can find out about Milwaukee anywhere. We will have also full accessory lines of impact sockets and things like that available for these, so make sure you check that stuff out and stay up to date on the site. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Milwaukee stuff. See you soon.